Hey. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is my first live. I think I need to be looking up. My camera's way up here. So, welcome. Welcome. That was a little rough. I didn't know I had to have a certain streamer. You know what I mean? Like anyway, I needed to let's see. It looks like volume and video are in place. Uh welcome. Let's see about my light setup here. Oh, nice cameras. Yeah, oh well. All right, who cares about light? Oh, there's one person. There's one person here. Welcome. All right, I'm gonna just start already because I plan to save this and put it on my different platforms on Instagram and everything else. All right, I'm live right now on YouTube and my name is Dr. Cheryl Meier. I'm a psychologist and a life coach. A life coach only because psychologist, you can only work in the state of California and I want to go global. But I teach people how to help you navigate through your spiritual awakening. And I teach people how to awaken their intuition by awakening my own intuition and continuing to be committed to that. I'm here for 20 minutes. So it started a couple minutes late because I had to get a different web browser than my regular one. All right. So I was just doing yoga in the park, and what was coming to me, my intuition, because I listen to my own intuition as I teach you guys to honor your own. What was coming to me actually before that, a few things. So, welcome to the deeper part of your soul. My intuition led me to go out to the park. I usually do yoga here, and I went to the park. Well, I sometimes do it at the beach, but if you take a deep breath, what's important is to slow down your mind and get out, move your energy out of your mind into your body. I was invited by my intuition to go out into nature, like the replica here from Van Gogh in nature, drawing this. And in nature, nature is always just being, it's being. Christ said to look at the lilies of the field. Watch how splendidly they are dressed, you know? And they don't worry about any of that. And the first thing I noticed when I was out there were the birds just flying around, having fun, you know? Today is the day for them to fly around and have fun. And yeah, they'll get some food, you know, but they were just chasing each other in the sky. And then as I was upside down, I was looking up in the sky at the expansiveness of the blue, you know, like this. So sometimes in childhood, you know, things weren't always as secure as we wanted them to be. And we either felt rejected or felt neglected or just not really connected with. I know that was my experience. Uh, I was cared for in other ways, but so you can learn not to trust. And so it's this Herculean feat to learn how to trust your own intuition and see that it's going to lead you to good places because it calls you. It's like the Holy Spirit. I think it works in tandem with the Holy Spirit. It calls you to be courageous and go to places that are really uh, challenging. They're scary for you to go to. Because I was saying in a video yesterday, so you can go to the live that I did yesterday. I did one live on Facebook, one live on Instagram, and then I was going to do this one today. That's what I was called to do. So here I am. That one I was talking about, I got this image on the first day when I was on this trail in nature. I took a rock because I was holding my phone, but now I can just do it. I do it like this sometimes, like this is your mind or this is your mind, you know? And your mind thinks it knows everything and everything comes from here. And really, you have a soul. You have this soul. It's this so much bigger than this, but this is like this expansive soul, and it's so much bigger compared to this. Do you know what I mean? But it's like through your soul, you're connected to the infinite. We're divine ones. We're connected to the God, the divine love that created us, or whatever. And so when you access this place, all of the love and all of the wisdom from all of the mysteries of God can come through you. And when you stay only in your mind and you insist that you are only your mind, then your consciousness, if you are consciousness here, welcome. I was saying I'm a psychologist and a life coach, and I teach about intuition. So I'm teaching right now for 20 minutes. So as you learn how to shift more into this space, and this is the space that I understand Christ and the mystics, but Christ, I know well, lived from this place of higher consciousness, of not giving all. If you are consciousness in a body, like Saint Teresa of Avila says, you know, Christ has no body now but ours, no hands. And don't worry, I won't get super religious, but you are this consciousness. I get the honor of carrying this consciousness and being the love that Christ was when he was here, that the mystics understand. So he's always teaching us about higher consciousness. But if I love what Eckhart Tolle talks about in The Power of Now, he says, or Eckhart Tolle, however you pronounce it, he says, you know, when you identify yourself as the mind, right? So we'll go back to this bottle cap, and the mind thinks that they're all that this is all that it is. And our society and the conscious collective has taught us that this is all that there is. And so we start believing it, and we misidentify ourselves and really limit ourselves. And so it's kind of like, okay, that's funny. I mean, I have this. She's my model. But I was going to say, if I had a Barbie doll, if I just looked like everybody else and dressed like everybody else, and thought that I was just, you know, if I had like this Barbie doll. Oh, I sent one of my friends this Barbie doll picture one time. I'm like, here's a girlfriend for you. I don't know what, I was in a snarky mood or something that day. It's a funny mood too, but if I only thought I was this Barbie doll, then all my energy would be going into making me look like that Barbie doll and pretend like I was that Barbie doll, instead of knowing who I am as this divine, expansive, peaceful, loving, easygoing being. Now, I'm not saying I'm easygoing all the time. I work really hard to stay in this centered place and remember who I am. Whenever I'm off the rails, it's because I forgot my identity. I lost my perspective. I didn't remember who I am and who you are, who the other person is. I really like the word namaste, you know, because it means my soul self bows and greets and recognizes your soul self. And it's this deep honoring that the consciousness that is God, the divine, lives in each person. And most people, sadly, and this is not a judgment, it's just most people are asleep to this. I think they say 90 to 95% of people are asleep to this. So that you even showed up here, you know, you guys that are here right now, it's your intuition led you to this. I know that for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what reason to me. I'm just glad you're here. And whoever is watching this after the live, your intuition led you to this as well, because I know I'm strange. I'm like, who wanted to welcome Christ when he was here himself? He didn't take the normal path. And I don't not take it on purpose, but anyway, it's just who I choose to be, and I don't choose to conform, and I'm not going to conform, and I don't have to be an anti-conformist, but I want people to get the deepest truths and live your fullest life. So I was getting a parable this morning because I was interacting with someone and I was looking at, well, I don't think they're following their intuition, but I'm like, oh, well, whatever. That they're not following their intuition. Someone that, anyway, I won't get into the details because I don't want to reveal anyone else's history or anything like that. That's why I'm always open about my own, because it's just good material for us to use, not because I want to talk about myself. I don't care about talking about myself. But anyway, it's like there's the yin and the yang, there's the dark and the light. And so when something good happens, you can be zen about it and welcome it and appreciate it and love it. But when something dark happens, it's like, well, I can learn from it and see my own unconsciousness and how I act in that same way. And so I tried really hard to stay in this place of not judging this person for not acting on their intuition. That was revealed. It was revealed something anyway. And so the parable that came up, I got a story from Christ teaching. And I remember, I think Eckhart Tolle was talking about this in one of his classes as well. And Muji, I heard talking about it, but it's the parable of the sowers. And so look at this, like Christ is always wanting to teach you about your higher consciousness and how to go and live from that place. Because he says, I come to give you life and life abundantly. How are you going to have life? It's not from, I go to church at this time and I go to church at this time and now I have life. It's, the church is meant to be also a vehicle of consciousness where this love, this divine love and consciousness, if we were all in a pure state, and if they knew how to do this, it's like this body, it's meant to be like our body, where this divine love comes through and illuminates us and wakes us up to our higher calling in life, and wakes you up to your divine purpose, and wakes you up to go walk on water, and wakes you up. I'm like, thank you, God. Like, not to be all, but wakes you up to be the highest version of you, and to walk in your purpose. And like, we all have divine gifts. I look at it a lot of the times like the Clash of the Titans, like, he was half God, half man. It's like that, what's his name? Perseus? I don't know, but he goes and they give him all these gifts. You have gifts given to you. And if you don't activate them, they just stay dormant. And if you don't live in them, if you don't think of the difference of the Peter who was in the boat, seeing Christ walk on the water, first thinking it was a ghost, not knowing what it is, because our intuition does not know what this is. Just like after Christ resurrected, they didn't know who he was, and he had to reveal himself to them personally. And that's showing you how intuition works. Okay, all of these things are deep mysteries showing you how intuition works. So welcome. So imagine who Peter was before he got out of the boat. Once he decided, okay, that's not a ghost, that's Christ. Okay, if that's you, let me walk to you. And he started walking on water. And then, as soon as he's like, oh, I'm walking on water, crap, this doesn't work. Your logical mind turns back on this thing. We were talking about this. When you identify yourself with your mind, your reality turns back into your mind, because you give all your consciousness energy to your mind, and your mind will suck it all up with worries, with what do I need to be doing today, with blah, blah, blah. It will suck it all up. Don't you worry, it will. So just imagine in your heart, in your deeper expansiveness, Peter before he walked on water, and the Peter after he walked on water. And that Peter still betrayed Christ 3 times, or not betrayed. He did not betray. He denied him 3 times. He fell into his own weakness as a human 3 times after that. No, I don't know that person. I never knew him. I've had that experience with people in my own life, not to be like, I'm like Christ, but whenever that happens in your own life, you can cling to Christ and know that someone in the divine realm is walking with you through this. You're not alone. So if people, ghost you, I have lots of videos here on YouTube about being ghosted and stuff like that. If they deny you, it's fine. It's not fine, but it's not personal about you, and you have somewhere to go with that. You have comfort. And this is why consciousness in me, through me, provided the comfort. I was called to go here on YouTube and start making my channel and make videos. And I've made over 300 videos since that betrayal, since I was ghosted, since I felt that deep pain in my own heart. And so it's produced all of these healing videos for other people. And that's Christ. This is Christ active in our world. Like, yeah, you can find him on YouTube. Go figure, And I have 20 years of experience being a psychologist, and I poured that into these videos so that people would not feel like they're alone. But I didn't know how to market anything, and I still don't. So I'm learning, but it's so boring to me. But my intuition keeps leading me where I want to go, and I'm really committed because it is my calling to bring this to you guys. But so think of who you are after your faith is activated, and you step into that faith and you activate it and you live in it, and you have that courage. And think of you before. What kind of different experience of life are you going to have after you walked on freaking water? You know what I mean? It's like you're going to have a different experience. And so the parable that was being shown to me, because I only have a few more minutes that I'm going to be here today, is the sower and the seed. So it's like Christ was telling the story, and he's talking about higher consciousness, whatever else he's talking about. You guys can go study that everywhere else. He talks to me about higher consciousness. So that's my calling to convey it to you guys. And so he talks about these seeds, and on one of the seeds, they grow up fast, but they're not on deep soil, so they die or whatever. And the other one, they grow up, and then the birds come and take them away. And the other one, there's thorns that strangle them, And the fourth ones, I think it's the fourth ones, they go on good fertile soil, and they go deep, and they have roots, and they stay in there, and they grow and produce great fruit. So if you're not producing fruit, and it's no judgment, I'm asking myself too, like Peter, who like after he walked on water, like the kind of fruit that he was going to produce, and his conviction, even he's like, well, I will go with you even to death. He felt that. It's like the spirit's willing, the flesh is weak, But anyway, so let's look at that in regards to intuition. Because if your intuition says, it's important you go do this, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to go do this. And then it's like, I'm so excited to go do it because I saw in a flash of my vision, a flash of my consciousness, my intuition, that this is the best thing for me to do. And my intuition has led me into the wildest places, and we're uncomfortable to go there. Look at my video yesterday, because I talk about why we're uncomfortable to go there. Basically, it's going against what our parents taught us, because our parents were mind identified most of the time. Let me get my knee up. This was what we're doing for our mind. Most of our society, 95% of our society and our parents were mind identified. And so we go and we're going to go act from something in our intuition, and we have the vision of what that is. It calls us to this deeper place, because it's like living on the 100th floor instead of living on the first floor of a building or the third floor. You're looking in the 3D instead of the 5D or whatever you want to call it. So we get this vision, but then we go back to our mind. And so we haven't built up a practice. It takes muscles built. I'm like, muscles, this is all from doing yoga. Like this past year, I'm so excited about it. I didn't know it was going to happen, but it's like 5 to 6 days of doing strength exercises like that every day. It builds into that, but it takes building up your muscles, your meditation muscles, your quieting your mind muscles. It's a discipline. It's super, super simple and easy. It's not a hard thing. I talked to someone yesterday, and she's like, God never makes it hard. He's not a God of confusion. He, she, divine love. It's way more than he and she. It encompasses all of that. So it's always going to be simple, but it takes discipline. Like, this didn't come out of nowhere. This came from a lot of work. And like, I put my skating and stuff on here to inspire people, because I just keep putting the work into the skating. I keep putting the work into my guitar, and my singing. You see a progression from me just slowly, slowly keep building. And this is how it's my intuition's revealing all this to me right now, is that this is how your intuition gets strengthened. And so instead of the birds of the air, and I can't remember what the birds of the air are, but it's kind of like one of them is the choking is like the cares and the worries of this life. I get so caught up in, no, I got to be going to make money. I got to go do this and this and this. And those strangle the seed of your intuition, which leads you to this life abundant that Christ has called you to. Like, how are you going to have it if your faith isn't active, if you're not living with the consciousness flowing through you? It's like a fire hose of love and abundance and peace and joy. And the fire hose can stay in this deep stillness and peace and quiet, and it's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, but it doesn't come easy, and it's not for the faint of heart. It's not. I remember watching some cowboy show, and the cowboy was like, the life of a cowboy is not for the faint of heart. I'm like, sign me up. Like, hello. It was so cute. But anyway, but I feel the same way about this, and I know it. I know it's not for the faint of heart, because I've had to be courageous over and over and over again. Because like I said yesterday in my video, when you die daily, when you take up your cross and die every day and leave your father and mother, it feels like you're going to die, because your right brain doesn't know. Your left brain is all logical, and your right brain doesn't know what time it is, and it's connected often to your intuition, and your left brain says, no, 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 no. If we go against, it takes us back to childhood. Our right brain doesn't know what year it is. It doesn't know we're an adult. You have to practice using your left brain to talk to your right brain to say, look, I'm an adult now. It's okay to follow my intuition, and practice following your intuition. Practice stepping out of the boat, walking on water. Otherwise, our parents would teach us it's my way or the highway. We learned, by the backhand, or not even, it doesn't have to be by their fear of going into the unknown, their own fear. I'm like, welcome. I'm like looking up at my camera now. Anyway, we learned from their own fear of the unknown to be afraid of it, that bad things are going to happen. And so you have to be disciplined and live in excellence and practice listening to your intuition. And 2222, I've been like, it will take you into the most beautiful places. And anyway, so but you can look into that parable yourself and know that Jesus Christ is teaching you in that about how to activate and strengthen your own intuition, so that I'll see it from that perspective, meditate on it, know that all of these things will try to come in and take this seed of, I'm like, this beautiful seed of like who you are. You are like a shining sun, and I'm like, that's like the song that came to me, Higher Love. It's like, I could light the night up with my soul on fire. I could make the sun shine from pure desire. Let this, I don't know. It's like, and you can watch it. It's on my YouTube channel here. But it's just like, when you have access to that, you're so unlimited. It's so beautiful. And I so appreciate this opportunity to be live with you guys. Oh, look. Oh, I didn't see the comments because my light was blocking it. I agree. How we break from duality. Exactly how we break from duality. That's what I'm talking about. Get in this deep now. What kind of fruit do you have? This is where God wants us to thrive. Yes. Make choices that make you give inner peace. Exactly. Sravya Piraya. I can't say your name, but I thank you. You get it. You resonate. You understand. Thank you. This is my first live, so like I wasn't seeing where the comments were. It was underneath where my light is. Yes. It's all about, it's breaking from duality, getting into this oneness. But duality, because we're in a world of duality, it pulls us in, and the mind is really addictive. And we're so used to just feeding that part of ourselves and staying in our addictions. And our addictions will help feed keeping us stay stuck in that place and not in this expanded place. And so what kind of fruit? Well, I So the fruit that I've created in following my intuition, I'm glad you answered that. I mean, asked me that. This guy named Parks works. Um, is I created this class, and that's what my intuition was leading me to come and teach about these things today. So I created a year-long class, and I'm not trying to sell my class. I just want you guys to know about it. If you want a deeper place to go into this on a really deep level, I created as a psychologist us going through the book The Power of Now, because it was the only thing that helped me break from duality and get into this deeper, the consciousness of Christ, the Christ consciousness, the awareness of, and I've been searching this and doing it my whole life, like following this path. And so the fruit of that labor is my class that I created, if you're understanding that. Like, this is, so I created this class where it's 4 1-hour videos a week, and then 1 hour a week we get private coaching, group coaching with me, whoever's in the class, and a private Facebook group. And so we're all in this together, and it's a year-long class, but you can just sign up for the first 3 months if you want. And I have a coupon code. I'll put it in the link of this in the description of this video, or in the comments too. I have a coupon code that works until June 1st. I don't know how to do all this stuff, but I was so excited. I love classes and I love learning how to get into this deep place. And I really wanted to go in depth more into The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And so I teach on it as a psychologist, and as what I'm learning, how to break free of the duality and go back into this oneness, so that this can flow through us to other people. And so it's a year-long class, 4 hours a month, 1 hour a week of video teaching, 1 hour a week of group coaching. So you're committed to 2 hours a week of your time, plus all of the work of you activating this in your own life. And so here, I don't know how to block people. That person was removed. Goodbye. There we go. Oh no, hide user. There we go. There. Okay. All right. So I got to I get to learn how to set boundaries in YouTube. I don't have a moderator yet because this is all new here. So all right. So watch any of my videos. I'm always teaching about this, and I always will continue to, as long as I stay committed to my own intuition. And so I wish you so much love, and thank you so much for being here. Oh, DM me on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram and DM me if you have questions. My name is the same here as there, Dr. Cheryl Meier. And if you have questions about my class. All right, much love. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. This is like your intuition led you to help me keep building my dream.